Hello and welcome back to our monthly updates for 2021. As to a theme for this month, we thought it would be best to update you on where we are now at this moment in time, and this also gives you the opportunity to feed back to us. So not the best start to the year with another lockdown, but to those of you who attend these webinars regularly, welcome back. And a warm welcome if you are new to these updates, and just to inform you, these sessions are repeated 3 times during the month. Our normal process applies where the recorded version of these webinars will be made available on the Maths and English Resource Hub. In our usual format, I've switched off the questions facility for now, so please hold your thoughts for the next few minutes while I run through a few things. I will then turn them back on and hopefully I will be able to answer some of your queries this morning. If you are listening to the recording, you can also post your questions into the pre-employment inbox. As always, I will try to answer as many questions as possible. However, all the questions will be answered and will be fed into our rolling Q&A document. So please do keep the questions rolling in and we will keep adding to the document. The green boxes will indicate the latest content. If there is something on your mind or you have a burning question, it may be worth you having a quick look at the document first, as it may tell you what you need. Since the questions almost always relate to functional skills, you'll find the rolling questions on the 4748 qualification page under Centre Documents. And if you are listening via the recording, please do still send your questions to the pre-employment inbox. The address is indicated on the slide. So now for our regular in case you missed it slots. Despite the current lockdown restrictions, functional skills exams are still available on demand. Currently, centres are still able to offer these assessments on site. We will, however, keep you updated if there are any changes. You can find these on our City and Guilds COVID-19 webpage, which can be located on the top left-hand corner of any City and Guilds webpage. You can also find the link on the slide just to make things a little easier for you. Also, just to mention, we will also send out an alert email to keep you updated, which is why we stress so much every month about ensuring you are signed up to our email updates. You will have no doubt heard by now that we are working on our test at home solution for functional skills. We are still moving forward with this, and you may have noticed a change to our 4748 webpage, which now includes documents to support centres who have now been approved for this. So just to recap, if you are interested in offering this service to your learners, you will need to complete our inquiry form. You can find a link to this on the slide or via the COVID-19 webpage. Once approval has been given for this service, you will be provided with the password to access the documents that you will then require via the 4748 page. These will include the training deck, booking process documents, invigilator documents and candidate documents. Everyone can access the Test at Home remote invigilation document that will list the relevant documents that will be available to support you. The DFE and ESFA have published updated guidance for providers delivering apprenticeships during the COVID-19 pandemic. The relaxation of the requirement for Level 2 or intermediate apprentices to study towards and attempt the Level 2 functional skills test has been relaxed until the 31st of March 2021. They still have to achieve a Level 1 in both English and Maths in order to complete their apprenticeship. To provide additional opportunities for learners to take tests, we have opened up our offices for testing. We will be offering paper and on-screen tests, including ICT. Centres are open in 2 locations, London and Birmingham. Locations were decided in response to your feedback on assessment plans, when, where, how many. Tests are booked in the usual way, but with an additional step, which involves booking a seat in the venue for the exam duration. We have an agreement with National Express to help our learners taking functional skills tests as part of this project to have help with travel. We will provide invigilators and equipment, so learners just need to turn up ready to take their test. There will be a fee of £25 in addition per test in addition to the exam fee. We have the capacity to offer up to 100 tests a day across our planned locations. We will monitor take up and see if we need to expand this service. We have our inbox, Functional Skills Exams Service at cityandgoals.com. colleagues are available to support you to take bookings. Next, some less positive but hopefully temporary news. We are aware that it's not currently possible to access any of our on-screen sample functional skills tests via Open Assess. It is still possible to open the user portal and see test scores or review scorecards, but the facility to take tests or access the admin site to mark assessments is not working at the moment. We are working on a resolution to this situation as a priority and will update you as soon as possible. The navigation tests and versions of the samples hosted on the qualification pages are still available, but an application called Surpass Viewer needs to be downloaded and installed by users. Details of how to do this can be found on the Information tab of the 4748 qualification page. This applies to on-screen samples for ESOL, Principles of Maths and English and Essential Skills Wales 2. In addition, the paper sample tests are still available as normal from the Documentation tab of the qualification pages. We mentioned the DFE consultation on level 2 or below in our last webinar, but as the closing date is approaching, we thought we would just highlight why it is important to have your say if you haven't already done so. This consultation is part of a larger review of the qualifications landscape as T-level and other initiatives are rolled out. In the next slide, we will discuss some of the implications of this consultation will have. We have included the link on the slide, but also to remind you that there is not much time left as it closes on the 14th of February 2021. It was originally due to close on the 31st of January. Also to make you aware, you can respond to this consultation in a personal capacity as well as an organisation. The document does state that you can just complete what is relevant to you, but for employers and industry representatives, it does suggest relevant questions 9 to 11, 14 to 15, 23 and 29 to 30. City and Guilds will be responding, however it is important that you all have your say as it is likely to affect the range of qualifications available to support your learners in the future. As is often the case with government consultations, volume of responses can make a difference. Although the call for evidence has some quite detailed questions, and it's important to look at these, there are 3 things in particular that you might want to consider. Question 23, for example, asks about employability, personal, social skills, and how far these should involve regulated qualifications. Basically, it's an opportunity to say whether you think these should still be qualifications. ESOL is also really significant, and we know that NATECLA have been quite vocal about this in recent weeks. One of the suggestions in the preamble to this call for evidence is eliminating ESOL specific qualifications at level 1 and 2, because the consultation notes that these don't seem that well used compared to entry level. It's perhaps an opportunity to point out why that's the case. For example, ESOL qualifications not attracting full funding for adults, unlike functional skills or GCSE. And then there's question 30, effectively asking what maths and English qualifications should continue to exist besides functional skills and GCSE. So if you rely on the bite-sized qualifications to help and support learner progression, it's important to say so here. Now we know there is no way of getting through this webinar without addressing the implications of the current lockdown. So to address a few questions that keep popping up. In terms of a CAG rearing its head again, currently the DFE have stated it is their expectation for functional skills tests to be taken as normal. Now what we do know about this pandemic is that it seems to be an ever-changing landscape, so if things were to change we will always update you. As you know, yet again, another plea to ensure you are signed up for our email alerts. I know I did discuss on where we are with remote invigilation, but just to reiterate, you will need to complete the online form and gain centre approval to use this service. And also just to confirm that we are still operating on-demand functional skills tests and the entry-level assessments are still available from the website. Anyone who has attended one of our reformed functional skills launch workshops or who has received an email from one of the pre-employment team will have seen digital badges in action. In September, we launched the opportunity for anyone achieving their functional skills qualification through City and Guilds to receive their own digital credential alongside their functional skills certificate. So far, we have issued over 7,100 badges to learners and 2,200 have been claimed on our credibly acclaimed website. These 2,000 learners have shared their achievements through social media channels such as LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook and WhatsApp. Make sure your learners don't miss out. All we need is their email address, which can be entered onto Walled Garden. To help us understand more about your delivery, we've just got 4 questions. And as always, if you are listening to the recording, you can answer these questions using our pre-employment inbox. So question 1, are you still currently able to deliver functional skills? Yes or no? Question 2, when are you planning to deliver your functional skills exams for this academic year? Question 3, have you or are you planning to reply to the DFE consultations on level 2 qualifications or below? And question 4, are you considering using the City and Guilds test centres for your functional skills candidates? And as always, there will be a survey after the webinar to help us find out what kind of topics you are interested for us to explore in future webinars. Again, if you're listening to the recording, please feedback to us on the pre-employment inbox. If you do have any questions regarding anything that we've discussed in this webinar or some burning questions that you want to ask, please use the pre-employment@cityandguilds.com inbox. And now to draw the webinar to a close, I just want to say a big thank you for taking the time to join us on this session. We are aware of how precious your time is and how difficult it can be to take time out of your day. So it just remains to say, stay safe and we will see you next month. Thank you.